Let me put it into street terms for you.
I'm interested.
You're always chasing that first high. Okay?
I like where you're going with this.
And if that's your approach, right, you're never going to get it, okay? I mean, that's the path of addiction, right? These addicts, they try these drugs, and it's the most amazing experience of their life. And then your body adapts to that substance. And when you continue using that drug, it's never quite as good of experience as the first time when your body had nothing to compare that sensation to. It's just tricking your brain. And once your brain realizes this is what's going to happen, it's never as good. Okay, and then, so that's the phrase. You're always chasing that first high. You're always trying to get back to that amazing sensation that you had that one time. And there's danger in that because like we can have spiritual experiences, like where you have like your personal theophany and you come into the presence of the Lord and you have these amazing, almost physical sensations of the Spirit. These are things that can happen, and they're real, and they're sacred. If that's what you start chasing, if you think that is what is God, then there's danger in that. Because God is in the plain and precious, and God is in simple means. By simple things, miracles come to pass. So oftentimes we have those greatest spiritual manifestations when we are in the dark. Why? Because it's such a contrast. The light is such a contrast to where we find ourselves. And those are those like born again experiences, where it's like you're given an experience that's tangible enough for you to have knowledge of the reality of the Spirit, and it puts you in a direction where you can move forward towards the light. But once you can discern the light, it's not going to be that drastic of experience again necessarily. Like there's still going to be moments, of course, where you have de facto spiritual confirmations of things that take you off of an incorrect path and put you further onto the right path. That does happen from time to time, right? But that's a sign that follows when you're already seeking, right? Or, at times as a result of others pleading for you, as we see with like Alma, right? But what the doctrine here is that you come into the light, and yes, it may be a miracle, but once you're on the path of the light, you receive light little by little, progressively. And when we mean light, it means truth, something that you can act upon. And that's the doctrine of the endowment. That's the covenant path. That's the gospel, whatever you want to say, is that we can receive higher and holier ways of living, laws. And then once we know those truths and we can discern the source of the truth and what the truths are, what those laws are, now we can start changing in our lives and living according to that light, according to that truth. And that is not something that's, supernatural or a feeling. That is agency, pure and simple, right? The plain and precious truth here is that this doctrine of receiving light little by little and growing brighter into the perfect day, it's a doctrine of agency, that you can receive and act upon it, as opposed to being something that's receives action or acted upon. We can act upon the light and truth that we receive. And instead of chasing so-called spiritual phenomena, we can comprehend light and truth, take it into our heart, and then instead of seeking some spiritual experience, we can seek to live by discernment. That's a quote that I love by President Nelson, then Elder Nelson, as he said that revelation can be honed into discernment. So yes, we may have enlightening moments that are profound, perhaps even tangible in nature, but those revelations are a stepping stone to a greater principle, which is discernment, meaning, great, you have light, now live by it.
I'm so glad you spent so much time on the streets. That was a good analogy.
Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.